Islam is not going to fight Ilia Topuria, and it's for one reason. Khabib himself said this is our problem with it. He has not proven. And when that proof comes, it can only go up or down. And if it goes down, we don't need a win over a guy that's down. So come in and prove it. It's a fair point. Islam would like to go to 170, and he would like to challenge for the championship of the world. So for anybody at 170 to say, I'm not going to face you because you've yet to prove yourself, you see where it becomes a problem?
Ilia Topuria no need this. We just become champion. You have to defend your title a couple of times, even one time. Please, stay focused on your division. He have Mafsar, Aljamain Sterling, right now Max Holloway. When you have good fights on your division, be quiet. His game have levels, and he's not Islam level.
Потому что он низкий, ему будет тяжело проходить ему, сильно бьет, на ногах стоит хорошо. В любой момент можно нокаутировать.
Ilia's come out saying he's going to be the first person to submit Islam. How do you see that? Do you think he can do that?
Love the confidence. Love the confidence. And I think a lot of people, they look at Ilia and people like that and think, oh, this guy's cocky. But I love it, you know. I'm like, that's what I need to aim for, is that level of confidence.
The difference, isn't it? It's not cockiness, it's confidence.
I mean, it probably is a bit of cockiness, but I like it anyway. I think it's a tough task. I think if anyone can do it, I wouldn't count him out, do you know what I mean? I think Islam is like unbelievable, obviously. He's got a chance. I'm saying he's got a chance. I'm not saying he's going to do it, but I'm saying he's got a chance.
Khabib Nurmagomedov has sent shockwaves across the MMA world and ignited a fiery war of words.
Ilia Topuria. He said, you know what? I want to go up to 155 pounds, fight the #1 contender, and then if he wins that, then he fights Islam. I think that's good, brother. I think he deserves.
I think if he move up and he beat somebody like Dustin Poirier or Charles Oliveira, he's next.
The former undefeated lightweight champion didn't hold back when asked about the potential of Ilia Topuria challenging Islam Makhachev for the UFC lightweight title. For many fans, Khabib's brutally honest assessment wasn't just dismissive. It came off as strategic gatekeeping. According to him, allowing another featherweight champion to step up for a title shot against Makhachev makes little sense. After all, Islam has already beaten 2 champions from the 145-pound division. From Khabib's standpoint, the move is risky and gains nothing. He believes if Topuria were to move up to lightweight and lose, it would diminish the quality of Makhachev's resume. For him, the equation is simple. Beating someone unproven at 155 doesn't add to a legacy. It waters it down. This viewpoint isn't just casual commentary, it's a firm stance from someone who has guided Makhachev's career closely from the beginning.
Ilia Topuria. He said, you know what? I want to go up to 155 pounds, fight the #1 contender, and then if he wins that, then he fights Islam. I think that's good, brother. I think he deserves.
I think if he move up and he beat somebody like Dustin Poirier or Charles Oliveira, he's next. Why not? Because there is nobody.
So you don't think right now Ilia deserves a shot at 155 pounds?
Without fighting in 155? Without? No, I don't agree. Because Islam already give chance. And people talk bad about like, oh, he fight 2 times with Volkanovski, but the UFC pushed this fight, and this fight was good in first fight. But why Islam have to give 3 times chance for 145 champion? Why? It's not fair for 155 pounds.
Right,
But if he move up and he beat somebody like Charles Oliveira, of course. You know what I think?
Yeah.
I think he can beat him.
Yeah. I like Charles, but I think so too.
No, I think Ilia can beat him.
Khabib's preferred route for Islam seems to lie with fighters who have already put in work in the lightweight division. Arman Tsarukyan, for example, has been publicly endorsed by Khabib as the tougher and more deserving fight for Makhachev. This is particularly interesting considering Tsarukyan was previously scheduled to fight Islam at UFC 311 before a back injury pulled him from the event. Khabib's logic is clear. He wants Islam to face contenders who've already earned their place, rather than those jumping divisions on hype alone.
Как ты считаешь, кто опаснее сейчас для Ислама Макхачева, Арман Царукян или Илия Топурия?
Мое личное мнение, не то чтобы там опасен, скажем так, более конкурентен. Я думаю, что Царукян. Я думаю, Арман посерьезнее боец, чем Топурия. Топурия хороший боец в 66, а в 70 мы его не видели. Я считаю, что Арман более конкурентоспособный для Ислама, чем Topuria.
You know, Ilia Topuria is talking about coming to 155, and you're like, I'm tired of these little people coming up to fight me.
Not make sense. Give the chance 3rd time from the same guy. Okay, I beat the Volkanovski twice. People still say you beat small guy.
Yeah.
It's not your weight division. If I beat Topuria, it's gonna be the same. Everybody gonna talk same. If I go up, take a second belt, this is a legacy.
But, you know, one of your friends, you guys are teammates, you and Bilal.
Honestly, Bilal killed my plan, you know.
Yeah.
We become like close friend. We have same manager. Nobody would know what's gonna be in the future, you know. I just have same dream.
Yeah.
I want to be double champ. I want to be like you know. Champ. How many? 11 times defend your belt.
You're on your way, man. You're on your way.
But Ilia Topuria wasn't going to stay quiet in the face of such statements. The Georgian-Spanish fighter, who recently vacated his featherweight title after a dominant run through the division, clapped back quickly on social media. In a bold and direct message, Topuria accused Khabib of protecting Makhachev, suggesting that fear was the only reason the fight wasn't happening. While Khabib might see no benefit in the matchup, Topuria believes the reason is much simpler. He's too much of a threat.
A hypothetical fight against Islam, how do you see that fight going? If it goes to the ground, do you feel confident that you could out-grapple him, or would you try to keep it standing? And
my mindset is always the same. I'm always looking to achieve things that no one could. So someone could submit him. I will be the first one to submit him. And
any specific submission?
Now I heard some love from some idiots, but it's gonna happen.
Topuria isn't just another featherweight looking for a payday. With a flawless 16-0 record and a string of electrifying wins, including devastating finishes over UFC legends Alexander Volkanovski and Max Holloway, he has shown he's more than capable of delivering on his promises. Following his demolition of the featherweight division, he made a decision that shocked fans and fighters alike. He vacated his title and announced his move to lightweight, but Topuria made it clear he wasn't planning to climb the ranks slowly. He wanted to go straight for Makhachev.
I would like to fight with Islam.
But if they don't give you that fight, if they give you like a #1 contender fight, when would you like to fight next?
I wouldn't fight for a #1 contender
really?
fight.
It's the most marketable fight, right?
I don't care if Islam decides that he doesn't want to fight me. I don't care. I said till you're gonna have to fight me. Okay. You say that you are the world champion, you're gonna keep dominating the division, all that. I'm here. You can't keep avoiding me all the time.
So you would just sit on the sidelines rather than fight someone else?
I don't think that they're gonna do that. I get the promise that I would fight for the title in my next fight. So how much time you will stop me and from the fighting? And I prove that I deserve that shot. Once I pass him, I get the title, and you put me against Party.
UFC legend and former double champ Henry Cejudo added more fuel to the fire. In a separate interview, Cejudo claimed that it isn't Makhachev who's avoiding the fight, it's Khabib who's actively blocking it. Cejudo painted Khabib as the bad cop in Makhachev's camp, taking charge of decision-making and prioritizing legacy over entertainment. According to Cejudo, Islam is the type of fighter who would accept any challenge, but it's Khabib who's pumping the brakes on Topuria's title dream.
I don't even think it's going to be Islam's choice. I think Khabib's going to step in and be like, he needs to fight the #1 contender. But I think the person that's going to more likely play bad cop is going to be Khabib Nurmagomedov. He's going to say no.
However, Topuria seems to thrive in these moments. During an appearance on the PBD podcast, he didn't just say he could beat Makhachev, he promised to do it in the most humiliating way possible. In a moment that stunned the host, Topuria described how he would ask Makhachev to name his favorite submission. Not only that, he said he would drag Makhachev to the corner of the cage near Khabib and finish the fight right in front of him, turning the tables on the man who made a career out of dominating opponents while making eye contact with UFC President Dana White.
Me personally, I would ask him like, what's your favorite submission? Whatever, I don't know. Dark show. I'm gonna submit you with that.
So if you ask him what his favorite submission is, you would do that to him?
Yeah.
This is a guy that's trained and coached by Khabib, who, 28-0, stories that he's never lost a round in his life.
I take him close to Khabib. I will submit him closer to Khabib.
You'll submit him in front of Khabib?
Yeah. I take him. Khabib used to take people and he shoulder take them down and talk to Dana. I would do it to Khabib. Like, I will take him, and
then talk to Khabib.
Talk to Khabib. Khabib,
I have to do it.
The brewing tension between Islam Makhachev and Ilia Topuria has ignited a wave of opinions from fighters, analysts, and insiders alike, creating one of the most buzzworthy potential matchups in the UFC. While debates rage over whether Topuria deserves an immediate title shot after moving up from featherweight, the diverse perspectives offered by the MMA community reveal just how complex and compelling this possible clash has become. Some fighters are choosing sides based on stylistic preferences. Joshua Van gravitated toward Topuria simply because he sees timing and power in striking as capable of disrupting even the most elite grapplers. Van acknowledged Makhachev's skill set, but leaned on his belief that a perfectly timed shot could change everything, especially when delivered by someone as sharp and explosive as Topuria.
But Islam is hard to beat, you know what I mean? But I'll go with Ilia just because he's a striker like myself, you know what I mean? So yeah, I'll go with Ilia.
Others, like Smith Elijah, took a more pragmatic route. He supported Makhachev, arguing that Topuria hasn't yet faced a wrestler anywhere near Islam's caliber. He dismissed any attempts to compare Topuria's past experiences, including bouts against wrestlers like Bryce Mitchell, insisting that Islam's pressure-heavy wrestling, exemplified in his dismantling of submission artist Charles Oliveira, would present a totally different kind of challenge.
I think Islam. I think Islam would be the one to, and I like Ilia, but I just think Islam is still a little bit bigger.
Julian Erosa approached the debate more cautiously. While intrigued by the hype around Topuria's strength and grappling, he wasn't ready to commit fully. Erosa admitted that Topuria had shown promising signs, but he wanted to see those traits hold up inside the lightweight division before backing him. His interest was piqued, but he stopped short of issuing full confidence until the results matched the talk.
Man, I hear nothing but great things about Ilia's grappling and his wrestling. So if he lives up to the hype around his grappling and his wrestling, then I got to go with him 100%.
And you think he does? You think he can beat Islam?
Well, if the hype is real about his wrestling and his grappling and his strength that I've heard, then if I go with that as truth, then yeah, I think he beats him.
For Modestas Bukauskas, Makhachev's grappling remains the ultimate equalizer. He respected Topuria's well-rounded game, particularly his refined jiu-jitsu and striking skills, but saw Islam's control on the ground as too suffocating. Bukauskas also pointed out that Makhachev's striking is often overlooked, and that his ability to blend it with takedowns would neutralize Topuria's forward-pressing boxing style over the course of a drawn-out fight.
I can't see anyone beating Islam. Just his wrestling is just so good. Obviously Topuria's leveled up massively over his last couple of fights. His jiu-jitsu is also very good, but Islam's jiu-jitsu is very good. It seems that Islam's striking and range finding is very, very good, but Topuria's boxing is so sharp, he's able to close the pressure. But I think, like you saw against Poirier, if he can just duck underneath and get into the takedown, I think it'll be a long night for whoever faces Islam, so I'll probably lean towards him.
Meanwhile, Jorge Masvidal delivered one of the most emphatic endorsements of Topuria. Confident in the Spaniard's grappling defense and power, Masvidal said he'd bet everything on him, a bold statement given how rare it is for fighters to express that level of assurance in such a high-stakes scenario. For Masvidal, Topuria's overall game is simply too complete to doubt.
I'd bet the house on Ilia. His grappling, offensively, it's very good. If you shoot in on this guy's legs and you make a mistake and you're the one going for the takedown, he has a very good chance that he might put your ass.
Eddie Cha offered additional insight into that completeness. Reflecting on Topuria's early days when he leaned more heavily on grappling, Cha emphasized how far the young fighter has come. He noted that Topuria has developed into a genuine dual-threat athlete whose boxing now complements his ground game. Though he admitted Makhachev's size might complicate things, Cha felt Topuria's evolution as a mixed martial artist made him a real threat.
Yeah, people probably think I'm crazy, but I think Ilia can get it done.
Okay.
He's one of my favorite guys to watch right now. His distance game. I mean, if you've seen him when he was 6 or 7-0 at Brave before the UFC, he would just take guys down and just grapple. I think that was his biggest strength. That's why I'm so impressed with that guy, because for him to be as good in striking in a short amount of time, understanding the game and how he runs his offense, it's phenomenal. So the size factor is my biggest concern, and I think the grappling, we'll see what happens, but I like Ilia on that.
Not everyone agrees on whether Makhachev is dodging the challenge. Veteran Benel Dariush offered a more sympathetic view, pointing out that Makhachev has already defended his belt multiple times, including against short-notice opponents. Dariush highlighted the unfair narratives that can often surround champions, stating that Islam is caught in a no-win situation, accept the fight and get criticized for the matchmaking, or refuse it and face accusations of avoidance.
Makhachev has fought the 45 champion before when he was, you know, the pound for pound, so he's like, I don't want to do that. I want something else. But at the same time, he's already beat Arman before, so he's not really looking forward to fighting Arman. He's beat Charles. He's not really looking forward to fighting Charles. So it's a weird problem to have. He wants new opponents, but there really isn't anybody except for Ilia. But Ilia is a 45er, and that seems to be, he's not really interested in it. So he might wait. That's always an option too, right? He could wait because he just fought, and you know, and he could wait a little bit and see who's going to be available.
Is Islam in a lose-lose with this Ilia situation? Because I saw somebody say online, if he doesn't fight him, people will say he's scared. If he beats Ilia, people will say he's beat another featherweight champion, and if he loses to Ilia, people will say he's lost to a featherweight champion.
Yeah, there's truth to that for sure. I mean, and it's not like, you know, Islam's going to be the underdog in this fight.
Jamahal Hill stood out among the supporters of Topuria. He highlighted the speed and accuracy of Ilia's strikes and emphasized that he doesn't need many openings to end a fight. In Hill's eyes, even against larger opponents, Topuria's knockout potential remains lethal.
I believe he's capable of beating Islam. Just what I've seen personally too. Just like hand speed, the tricks and the way he plays with his striking game, I believe he's definitely capable of catching Islam. And if he catches anybody, I believe he can knock them out. You know what I mean? I believe his power might even carry. Not saying that his size and things like that, he can move up to like those higher weight classes, but if he catches it, the way he hits, if somebody even in the bigger weight class get like that, he can put them on Wobble Street.
Alexander Volkanovski offered perhaps the most nuanced take of all. As someone who's faced both men, he acknowledged Topuria's knockout power, but warned that defeating Makhachev would take more than that. He emphasized the complexity of Islam's game and the need for a multi-layered approach. Topuria would need to show adaptability, not just striking.
The thing is with Ilia, he is a dangerous fighter and he can catch anyone. You know, if he goes there and he's stoic and he's, you know, even if the fight's not going his way, he will not eventually get it, but he's going to keep trying to find it. You know, them later rounds are going to get harder for him, but you know, if he was to land, he could definitely knock him out. I think that's going to be hard to do. I think Islam's a pretty safe fighter. I think the scrambling stuff, even if Ilia's takedown defense is solid, I still think them exchanges are going to be better off for Islam. But you mean, you can't count Ilia's power out. You know, them hands. You know, he's going to be, you know, looking for that shot. Them early rounds, he's going to be very dangerous. So you know, to say he's got no chance is silly, because you know what I mean. And then that's how I've always, for myself as well, that's how I've always seen myself only getting beaten by someone catching me. I don't feel like anyone can actually beat me, but everyone has a chance of catching you. And I still believe that's the case now. But I mean, you've got some that are, you know, better chances than others, and Ilia has the better chance than most.
Aljamain Sterling added to the layered conversation by praising both men, while noting the dominance of Makhachev's wrestling and submission threats. He also highlighted Topuria's ability to read opponents and adjust mid-fight. Sterling didn't choose sides, but was confident the bout would be fireworks if it materialized.
The speed advantage, Ilia Topuria, boxing speed, boxing punches, Ilia Topuria. Calf kicks, which is a very dangerous weapon. I think Ilia Topuria uses those way better than Islam Makhachev. I don't think Makhachev really throws kicks like calf kicks or leg kicks. Wrestling, control, and submissions, I'm going to lean towards Islam Makhachev. Fight IQ, that's hard. Both guys are really, really good. I think they're neck and neck. It's hard for me to pick.
Arnold Allen speculated that Makhachev might simply be pursuing fights that better align with his legacy. He acknowledged Topuria's danger, but theorized that Islam may view the risk as greater than the reward, especially against someone new to the division.
I understand why Islam wouldn't want it, right? He wants to fight
legit contenders, and he's had like featherweights, ex-featherweights, late notice guys, replacements. He wants to sort of solidify his title reign, but probably is no bigger fight than Ilia, right? If he goes and batters Ilia, it looks pretty good.
Do you think he beats Ilia?
These guys, I don't know. To be honest, I've ruled him out a few. Oh, we're gonna get run. Hello.
About to get ran over.
Good.
Sorry.
Ah,
my bad.
I don't know. Every time I've ruled him out, he proves me wrong. So I'm not gonna do it again. Yeah, like I say, I figure Islam wins and he gets ironed out. So
Austin Vanderford offered a unique observation. Topuria, for all his striking prowess, has never thrown a head or body kick in the UFC. Still, he praised the Spanish-Georgian fighter's boxing IQ and adaptability. Though he respected Makhachev's experience, he felt Topuria had enough tools and momentum to surprise everyone.
Man, it's always tough to go against the Dagestani, especially when we're talking about, you know, pound for pound, one or two best fighter in the world. So, but Ilia Topuria is something special. His boxing, his wrestling. I saw a stat last week. It was like, I don't think Ilia's thrown a single head kick or a body kick his entire UFC career or something. You know what I'm talking about, James?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Man, I mean, that's another one of those situations where it just takes one for Ilia, and you know, he's kind of one of those slow, methodical guys, and you know, he's always processing information in the fight. I'm gonna go on a limb and say Ilia in that one.
As of now, the next move lies with the UFC. They have a potential blockbuster on their hands. Whether the promotion chooses to side with legacy or spectacle, fans can be certain of one thing: the animosity between Topuria and Team Khabib is very real, and the build-up to a potential showdown is already more compelling than many fights that have actually been booked. So what are your thoughts about this? Do let us know in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe and check out some of our other videos on the screen right now.